We're very proud of Shawn. He has worked hard and diligently, and Hope had a lot of fun. Did you have fun too? Good. What was your favorite thing to do at LearningRx?
Toss the ball.
Toss the ball. Toss the ball. And what did you do when you tossed the ball?
We had to, we would make a sentence and leave out the vowels.
Leave out the vowels. Good. So you had to do different things when you're tossing the ball. We'd like to ask you how you found out about LearningRx and why you were interested in us in the first place.
I attended a meeting at the health department and you were there and you talked about the program.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought it would help him strengthen some of his skills that he had some issues with. So.
Good, good. And have you seen them out picturing in his schoolwork? Good.
Yes. I've noticed that we initially started for reading because I noticed he had some struggles in reading, but I noticed that when he's doing his math, the attention compute, which we struggled with for several months, I noticed he'll use that method when he's doing his math work, so I think it's improved across the board, not just reading.
Right, because he did have, I think, some issues with memory and
short and long term,
and maybe processing speed. We'll look at that in a minute. So all those skills involve every curriculum, and not just school, but outside of school too. So the gains he got there are going to help him. Well, Colin is the trainer that worked with Shawn, and Colin has got he has picked out 10 improvements that you gave him, a group of improvements. How many total? Do you remember about how many?
About 20 total.
Had about 20.
So I just shrink it down in half.
So he picked out the top 10 that he thought were your best improvements, and he's going to share those with us.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember early on when you told me that you were reading tougher books?
Yeah.
Right off the bat?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then you followed up on that improvement like maybe 2 months later, and you told me you'd finished 2 of your harder books.
Yeah.
Remember? That was right away. Did you also remember how you realized how quickly you were able to memorize things when you memorized the first 20 presidents by your second session?
Yeah.
Remember? You basically had them down the first time. So that was really good. Shawn told me he learned how to set his own goals when he would come in and get his materials out and try to beat his best time. Remember we took your time every time you came in to get your stuff out? Alright? You kept beating your personal best. That was really good. Shawn and his mom both reported that he was cleaning his room better and keeping it clean. How's that doing?
Good.
Still keeping it clean? Not really?
Sure.
Okay, you better follow up on that one.
Maybe you need to come back.
Yeah. Stay on top of that.
Okay.
Shawn followed directions to bake a pizza basically by himself. He stayed on task and followed those directions, right? Did it turn out okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is it sort of kind of?
Sort of, kind of.
It was burnt.
Well, that's okay. Do you remember when you told me that you learned how to take measurements? You told me you were proud because you didn't know how to use a measuring tape before. Remember? Well, you did. Shawn reported he noticed his spelling lists and definitions at school were easier, and he was finishing them faster.
Yeah.
Alright, is that still going okay? Okay, good. Shawn told me he was remembering things better when he realized he was recalling his reasoning question numbers faster and more accurately. Remember, every time you came in, I'd ask you what number we were on? You got better and better. Shawn received higher marks on his reading progress report in school. You noticed that, and your mom noticed that. Getting better. And the most important one that you pointed out to me, Shawn, was that day when you told me you noticed how much more you could do and how much easier things were when you allowed yourself to focus, right?
Yes.
And you learned how to control that so that you could say, I want to focus and I want to get this done, right? You didn't let that control you anymore. That was a big day. I think that's something I want you to remember, okay? Good job.
Those